Hi 8th grade, welcome to your review of Topic 2. Cecile packages snack mix at a health food store. She uses 1/3 of her supply of sunflower seeds to make a salted snack mix and 2/9 of her supply to make an unsalted snack mix. If Cecile uses 10 pounds of sunflower seeds, how many pounds of seeds are in her supply? Well, what we don't know is how many seeds are in her supply. So we're going to say let S equal the amount of seeds in her supply. But we do know that she uses 1/3 of them and she uses 2/9 of them to equal a total of 10 pounds. Well, I see that both of those fractions have S's, so they're like terms and I want to combine them. But my problem is that they're both fractions with different denominators, so we have to find a common denominator between 3 and 9. Well, I know I can multiply 3 times 3 to get 9. So whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So now I have 3/9 S plus 2/9 S to equal 10. Now I have both common denominators, so I can combine them. 3/9 plus 2/9 is 5/9 equals 10. Still trying to solve for S. So I want to get rid of that 5/9. Well, 5/9 is being multiplied, so I want to divide by a fraction. But I'm not sure how to do that. What I can do is keep change flip. So we're going to keep the 5/9. Instead of dividing, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So flip that fraction right over. These guys cross cancel, and we're left with S equals, well, I can put my 10 over 1, multiply straight across. 9 times 10 is 90. 1 times 5 is 5. 90 divided by 5 is 18. So she has 18 pounds of sunflower in her supply. Number 2, which statement is true? Select all that apply. The relationship is proportional. Well, remember, for it to be proportional, it has to go through the origin, and it has to be straight. Does it follow those two criteria? It sure does. The slope is -6. Well, remember, slope is rise over run. So we have to pick 2 points. Here's a good one, and here's a good one. And we can count how much it goes down and how much it goes over. Be very careful. I almost made this mistake. Check to make sure every block goes by 2. So it's actually going down a total of 6. And over 2. So our rise is -6 and our run is 2, which can reduce to -3 over 1. So our slope is not -6. But the slope is negative. We just said it's -3. The y-intercept is -3. Be very careful. Remember, y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. And we already said it goes through the origin. So our y-intercept is actually 0. The equation of the line is y equals -3x. What does y equal? mx plus b. Remember that m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And we found our slope is -3, so -3x, plus our y-intercept was 0. So yeah, our equation is just y equals -3x. Cool. Helpful hint for when you're taking your test. When it says select all that apply, there's going to be more than one answer. Number 3, the graph shows the volume of water in sink X minutes after the faucet is turned on. What is the slope of the line? Remember, rise over run. So we picked 2 good points. Here's one and here's one. How much do we go up and how much do we go over? Paying attention to how much the boxes go by. Went up 1 over 2. So our slope, m equals 1 over 2. Connor says the graph shows that water is flowing at a rate of 2 gallons per minute. Is he correct? Explain. No, it's flowing. Flows at 1/2 gallon per minute. He did run over rise, because that's how we got 2 over 1. What is the solution to the equation negative 0.2 times x minus 20 equals 44 minus x? Okay, so the first thing I see here is we got to distribute. Remember, distribute means to multiply. So that gives us 0.2x. And then we have to do, well, I already know a negative times a negative is going to give me a positive number. But 0.2 times 20 gives me 4. So plus 4 equals 44 minus x. Now I draw my t and I want to get the x's on one side. So I can either add 0.2x to both sides or add x to both sides. Whichever one you prefer, they both will give you the right answer. I'm choosing to add x because that will leave me with a positive number. 0.2x plus x gives me 0.8x. Bring down your 4 equals 44, and those x's already canceled out. So still trying to get x by itself. Got to move the 0.8 and the 4. The first one we move is the 4. It's a positive 4, so I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. So I'm left with 0.8x. The 4's cancel, equals 40. Still trying to get x alone. X is being multiplied by 0.8, so we're going to divide. Use those inverse operations. So that cancels, x equals, and we do 40 divided by 0.8 to get 50. X equals 50. Public parking garage charges $5, so $5 right off the bat, and an additional $2 per hour. So write an equation in the line slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept. Slope-intercept form means we need the m and the b. So that's in y equals mx plus b. Well, b is how much you start with. That's going to be our $5. That's how much you have to pay to get in. And m is the rate. The rate is $2 per hour. So our equation is y equals 2x plus b. Now they want us to graph the line. Again, being super careful how much each box counts by. This is by 2's. Oops, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay. Oops, I made a mistake. I hope someone caught that. Y equals 2x plus 5. Okay, so we always start with our b. Remember, b for begin. So our b is 5. So we're going to put a point on the y-axis at 5, which is right here. And our slope is 2. M equals 2, which is 2 over 1. That's our rise and our run. On the bottom here, the scale is going by ones. So from 5, I'm going to go up 2 to 7 and over 1. Then going to continue that pattern up 2 over 1. All the way until I run out of graph. And connect the dots with a straight line. Draw lines to match each equation on the left to its number of solutions on the right. Well, I see this one I need to distribute. So that's going to give me negative 6x plus 6 equals negative 6x minus 1. Well, if I were to want to solve for x, I would have to add 6 to both sides. There would be no choice. Adding those cancels them out, and I get 6 equals negative 1. Is that true? Never. There is no solution. The next one, again, distribute. 2 times 3x, 2 times negative 1. That's going to give me 6x minus 2 equals 6x minus 2. Oh my goodness, those are the exact same thing. If we were to subtract 6x from both sides, they would cancel out, and we'd just be left with negative 2 equals negative 2. Well, that's always true, so there are infinite solutions. So the last one must be one solution, but I'm going to prove it to you to show you what it looks like. Again, distribute. That gives us 6x minus 2 equals negative 6x minus 2. I'm going to add 6x to both sides. So that gives me 12x minus 2. Cancels out over here, minus 2. Add 2 to both sides. So that gives me, cancels out, 12x equals 0. Just because that says 12x equals 0, just because it says equals 0 does not mean there's 0 solutions. We divide by 12. 0 divided by 12 equals 0. So x equals 0. That is what it equals. It only equals 0, nothing else. So there's one solution, and that solution is 0. Number 7, solve the equation. Again, just like that first problem, I see two numbers, two fractions, that don't have a common denominator. Our common denominator is going to be 15. So I'm going to multiply the first fraction by 5 over 5, and the second fraction by 3 over 3. So 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. So we got 10 15ths x minus 3 15ths x equals x minus 1. 10 15ths minus 3 15ths is going to give me 7 15ths x equals x minus 1. Now, instead of just plain x, I know that's 1x, so I'm going to put 15 over 15x, because I need to put my x's together. So I'm going to subtract 15 over 15x from both sides. So 7 minus 15 gives me negative 8 15ths x equals negative 1. We've done this already today. Instead of dividing by negative 8 15ths, change to multiplication and flip that fraction. This cross cancels, x equals, negative times the negative is a positive, so it's just 15 over 8. You could leave it like that. You could write it as 1 7/8. Number 8. Khalid and Jesse took different overnight trains. The graph shows the relationship between the total distance Khalid traveled and the time in hours. The distance Jesse traveled after x hours is given by the equation y equals 150x. So Jesse's travel is at 150. That's his rate. Khalid's we have to find. Well, how much did he go in 1 hour? He went 140. So who traveled at a faster speed? Jesse, because 150 is greater than 140. All right, last question. Maria is renting kayaks from a local shop that charges a $10 fee, so you pay $10 up front, and then an hourly rate of $7.50. For how long can Maria rent the kayak if she pays a total of $70? So she pays $10 up front, then she has to pay $7.50 per hour. That she can only pay for $70. So I'm trying to solve for h. Subtract 10 from both sides. This cancels. I'm left with 750h equals 60. So then again, to solve for h, oh my goodness. To solve for h, to get h alone, 750 is being multiplied. So we're going to divide it on both sides. 60 divided by 750 equals 8. So she can rent the kayaks for 8 hours. All right, 8th grade, good luck on your test. I know you're going to do great.